Okay, so what do you need besides a miracle?
Guns. Lots of guns.
Crab.
No one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
Roxy presents.
Boyos, have you ever laid in bed and wondered what would happen if you gave a crab a gun? Today, I finally found the answer to that question, and it came in the form of a new game on Steam, Crab Champions. Crab Champions is a third-person shooter roguelite, and going into it I wasn't expecting much. I figured it was just another roguelike hooked up in Unreal Engine for a quick buck. But fellas, let me tell you, this game is pretty tight. The shooting feels great, the movement is slick, loot is satisfying to collect, and did I mention that you get to play as a crab? The game was made by a single dude by the name of Noisestorm. If the name sounds at all familiar, I'd bet the song he made might sound even more familiar. Now if you don't recognize that song, I don't know what to say. Stop making poor decisions with your life, and if you don't know where to begin, start by subscribing to the channel. So let's talk gameplay. Crab Champions is all about shooting, dodging, sliding, and shooting your way through hordes of crabs, ants, and all manners of abominations. And to do that, we're going to need guns. Lots of guns. And boy, has Noisestorm got us covered. We got everything from pistols, assault rifles, miniguns, rocket launchers, and more to help you slaughter thousands of presumably evil crabs. After you've picked your gun of choice, it's time to start a new run and get into the action. A single run consists of 30 stages, with each stage getting progressively harder, but the loot gets even sweeter as you go. Here's what one of my runs looked like by the end of it. I can barely see what's going on, but it was pretty fucking sweet, let me tell ya. The movement in the game is immaculate, and I haven't played anything that felt this good since Apex Legends. It's very well put together. And while you gain plenty of firepower along the way, movement is the primary key to survival. Remember this sage advice: a crab that stays in motion is a crab that lives to fight another day. So keep those delicious crab legs moving if you want to live. Along your one crab crusade against the world, you'll encounter key upgrades to become a stronger crab. Everything from firepower upgrades to health, mobility, etc. If you've played a roguelite before, you know what to expect. There's enough going on between the upgrade variety and the large selection of weapons at your disposal that every run manages to feel a little unique and interesting, which is an incredibly key and hard-to-nail aspect in a good roguelite game. On the topic of variety, let's talk about what kind of enemies you'll encounter in this sunny paradise. Overall, it's quite good, but I have to ask, how is the current selection of enemies decided on? So we've got crabs, okay, that makes sense. Then we have slugs, I can see how that works. Ants is a bit of a reach, but I'm cool with it. And then somehow we ended up on laughing skulls? I'm not really complaining because each enemy brings something new and different to the table, but I'm really curious how a giant skull with a crown became the final boss for a game called Crab Champions. Speaking of bosses, my main issue with the game is in regard to the bosses. In a normal run, you'll encounter 3 bosses, one for every 10 stages you complete. The bosses you'll encounter are basically upscaled versions of enemies you've already seen before, and it's all just a little underwhelming. They do have some unique attack patterns, but it's also easy to deal with, and it seriously lacks any challenge or any type of excitement.
So here's this giant enemy crab.
The original gameplay trailer teases something huge, and I want whatever that is. It's worth mentioning though that Noisestorm is aware of this and has a final boss overhaul planned at some point in the future. But whether that happens next week or next year, you never really know with early access games. But before we get into that whole early access thing, let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
Monmouth Park Racetrack, the shore's greatest stretch, presents the Star Ledger's New Jersey Crab Cake Festival and Shore Chef Cook-Off. Cast your vote as New Jersey's best seafood restaurants go head-to-head. Will My Two Sons defend its crown against Jake's Cakes? Can Grand Summit Hotel cruise past Red and Gaetano's or Mud City Crab Cakes? McClune's has the inside rail, but will Bobby Shea or Funny Bones claim the People's Choice Award? Admission is $3, kids 12 and under free. Food prices vary. The New Jersey Crab Cake Festival, Family Fun Day, and Thoroughbred Festival, a weekend of racing, food, and fun, August 22nd, 23rd.
Thanks, New Jersey. You ever wondered what it's like to hit second puberty? If so, give Nightmare Mode a shot. This mode will put hair on your damn chest. Enemies are more abundant, faster, and hit even harder. It really kicks your ass, but it makes winning all the more satisfying. Before I get into the early access talk, I want to take a quick detour and talk about the visuals and sound for the game. I'll keep this short because there isn't much that needs to be said. The game is made in Unreal Engine, so you know it's going to look decent at worst. The graphics are clean and usually the visual clarity is up to par. Usually. The music is also pretty satisfying on the ears. You got everything from relaxing beach music to heart-pumping edge of your seat, I feel like I'm playing Hotline Miami type music. Even if you don't like the music, there's no dialogue in the game, so it's a perfect game to mute and put your own music onto. Hey, can we cut the clip? Yeah, just cut it here. Hello? Anyway, so where were we? Early access, right, of course. So, there's a lot planned for the game in the future. I'm not going to list it all out to you, it's a lot, but feel free to pause the video if you want to read it. Don't worry, I'm not going to go anywhere. If you don't want to read it all, well, let's just say he plans on adding a whole lot of everything to the game in the future. More guns, more locations, more lore, more violence. All that good stuff. Since I started playing, there's already been a few minor updates, so I'm optimistic about the future of the game. As far as the bugs go, I had no real issues outside of a few suicidal bosses, but nothing that actually ruined any of my runs. All in all, what's available right now is already a ton of fun, and I've already put a good 20 hours into the game, so I'm looking forward to more content in the future. Did I mention the game's only $10? That's a damn good bargain. So, if you're looking for some good old simple fun, look no further than Crab Champions. That's the video, boyos. Tune in next time when I finally finish this game I've been stalling on since last year. Until then, peace.
What up, dude? Man, seeing what's going on with it. If you guys got that CD thinking about heading out here, Dave's gonna come through and smoke some. It goes.